Because they always say, if we just put aside our differences, we can make change. But nobody ever does. And for the first time, we're actually seeing people take back the power. Let's talk about jobs and the workforce. I think a lot of people just look at the numbers and leave it at that. You're probably looking at charts that look like this. This is the amount of unemployed people. This is the amount of, the rate of unemployment, or the amount of unemployed people, or the amount of people applying for jobless benefits. So you'll be seeing things like, hey, the amount of people applying for first-time unemployment benefits is at pre-pandemic levels, right? Well, good. Everybody's back to work, right? No. Unemployment spiked up to 15% and it's now down to 4%. Yay, we're back to normal, right? No. See, those are headlines. 2 pieces of news came out this morning. Number one, your ADP report. They expected approximately 400,000 jobs to be added, and it came in at approximately 800,000. On paper, that looks awesome, but here's the problem. Since April, does anybody know what those numbers are? April, May, June, July, August, September, October. Does anybody know what those numbers are? Businesses lost? No. Unemployment rate? No. That's how many people in millions have left the workforce every single month. Left. Voluntarily left. So now the question becomes, if November saw 800,000 jobs added, but 4.4 million people left their jobs, now how does this affect things in the long run? Well, it's adding positive things in some ways, because one thing that we've noticed is that over time, and you'll see this stat a lot, CEO and executive pay has done this, and everyone else's pay has done this. A lot of people say, well, the government should step in and raise minimum wage. Well, there's an argument to be had there. There's also the other argument that minimum wage actually stops the free market from increasing people's pay. Because they say with a government mandated, then businesses can stay that low and everybody stays the same. Otherwise, businesses would have to compete for each other. Both of them have points, but both of them are kind of wrong. It needs to be a hybrid mix of both. Now, in this case, for the first time since the labor movement of the early 1900s, late 1800s and early 1900s, labor, in other words, employees have power. Employees have power. What do I mean by that? Because so many people have gone into early retirement, have resigned, quit, and original layoffs not going back, there is significantly more job openings than unemployed people. Originally, we saw people that worked in white collar, business, finance, all that, hold out and say, nah, we're working from home from now on. No, we want you to come back to the office. Well, then fuck off. I'll find somebody who lets me work from home. Well, screw you too. Then the business couldn't find anybody to fill their role. So then they started saying, shit, we got to start upping our packages. All right, fine, you can work from home. Fine, here's more health insurance, whatever. That started working. Then people at the bottom of the chain, these guys, started realizing, hey, if we actually get together, we could make a change. Now, we talk about this all the time in the world. If you want change, you got to get all the people together to fix it. But why do people not ever get together? Because they're so divided. And that's intentional. That's not a conspiracy. Governments, monarchies, oligarchies throughout history have always done that. They've always done that. Ruling classes want the lower classes to fight each other or to be divided so that they don't come together to make change. It's very simple. If you're in this part of the pyramid, you want this part fearing losing to this part, and you want this part thinking that this part is the reason that they're down here, right?
Capitalize.
Get class warfare, get political warfare, get race warfare, get monetary, get it all, get them all arguing and blaming each other and worried about each other, and then you just sit on your throne. That happened with everything in history, right? And then everybody always knows what it is. They say, if we all just got together, we could make a change. But we never get together. Very simple. Those people at the top also own all the media companies. So they're obviously going to continue to push, whatever. So now that we've got that out of the way, what's happening with workers right now? Workers, including going from white collar to restaurant, hotels, and everything, have realized, even if they're not making as much money because they're on unemployment or they're at home or whatnot, if they leave and don't go back or hold out, businesses will have to compete against each other to raise the benefits. And so that's what's happening. And we're seeing McDonald's go to $11 an hour. Home Depot, $15 an hour. Chipotle, $15 an hour. Costco, $17 an hour. You know, you're seeing this happen. And you're seeing another stat that nobody talks about. Personal income started rising when unemployment benefits and enhanced unemployment benefits were happening, right? Everybody who quit their job making $7 an hour was now making $25 an hour on unemployment benefits. So everyone's personal income increased. And then it came back down when those benefits ran out and it was just normal. But now we're seeing it start to uptick again because average starting pay is increasing and businesses cannot get enough workers. They're having to incentivize in so many ways. You've got people offering free college and starting pay and bonuses and stock options. And it continues to go up. But there's a trend that's not ending. You would think that that would start bringing people back into the workforce, but it's not. 4.5 million people voluntarily left their jobs last month. That is now over 4 million every single month since April, with the best month being 1 million added. Restaurants and hotels have been the fastest growing of people just leaving. And there was a time when the biggest joke was, if you don't work and you don't, get your shit together, you're going to live in a van down by the river. And now I want to work really hard and make some money so I can buy a $45,000 van and live down by the river. How times have changed. I stole that from Reddit, by the way. Van life is huge. Winnebago, all these companies are making so much money. They've been great investments this year with everybody doing that. But what is the positives of all that? It's not depressing. It's awesome. What it's showing is that people are learning that they have the power. If anything, if done right, this labor movement, as it were, could lead to people actually bringing about real change in the world. Because once they realize if they stop playing into the game of identity, they have power. Right now, it's pushing the envelope on the politics side. Everyone on the right is a Nazi. Everyone on the left is an Antifa terrorist, and keep pushing the boundaries. Everybody who's not my skin color is out to get me. Everybody who makes more money than me is greedy, and everybody who makes less money than me is after what I have. That's all we do. But I'm not saying we're going to have what happened in Iceland in 2008 happen, but if enough people realize, because they always say, if we just put aside our differences, we can make change, but nobody ever does. And for the first time, we're actually seeing people take back the power. And they have two options. Let it die out here or learn. And people will have their power back. And it's just how it is. I'm not here to say whether we should have unions or not unions or, if we should forgive and forgive. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that we've always known as a society that there's power in numbers. But the problem is that people are scared. They're scared to lose what they have. They're scared of change. They're scared of upsetting the status quo. Think about it this way. I was in law enforcement years ago. I'm not anti-law enforcement. I'm not, pro every cop either. And that's not what I am. I believe that there's good and bad in everybody. But do you want to know what's crazy? In most places, there's one police officer for every 4,000 people. That's crazy, right? But that's how we associate authority. And I'm not saying that we need to have anarchy or, any of that. No. I mean, we need, there's laws and order are very, 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 very awesome for societies. But what I'm saying is that this idea of people in positions of power, and we are, human beings. It's why people stay in the same job for years, because they're afraid of disrupting the status quo or losing what they have. And the chances of them losing something means that I can't do anything. Or if I am civil disobedience, I could go to jail and then ruin everything. Or if let me just stand in line and do what I'm told. And that's why, people that believe in anarchy, right? There's people out there who say, man, anarchy would be the best form of government. No, it wouldn't. Because it's going to go turn into fucking Mad Max. And then people are tribal. They yearn for authority. They yearn for leadership. They don't want to feel like they're out on their own. They want that. That's what people want. And I'm not trying to talk about the Matrix, but this is what people want. Now, some people want it in certain ways, but other people want to be controlled because it just makes them, it's just a mindset, okay? All right, I'm going on a rant right now, all right?